Good evening. We are back after quite a long hiatus, I would say.
Yeah, it's been about a year, Christopher.
That's true. 8-9 months at this point?
Yeah, well, yeah, at least I'd say since last November, so almost probably 11.
That's true. At different times, but the same crew. Let me tell you that. Again, back at the newest member. He's still back. It's George Wigington and Brent Saul, of course. He's there. And Gray Hyatt, well, I mean, he's a classic. Can't leave without him. And
thank you.
as always, Christopher Beer. Well, there's a lot to get into here. So, what do you say we start from, I don't know, let's say post-lockdown soccer, right? Right when that came back. I think the biggest storyline there is the scintillating football of Manchester United. I don't know where that came from, honestly. They surged out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just recapping from that, Leicester City spent every day except maybe like a week outside of the top four. They finished fifth. How did that happen?
We're just good. That's my expert analysis.
Genius of Brendan Rodgers, right?
I mean, I think definitely Bruno Fernandes actually has helped the team a lot in terms of he's made a big contribution with his penalties being scored every single one, but as well as I think
not
he actually
all of them earned.
Well, that's debatable.
90% maybe not earned. No.
9 out of 10. I think that's fair. That's a fair assessment.
Did you see the one against Villa where he stepped on the other dude and they called a penalty on him?
Dude, how did they get away with that with VAR?
I have no idea how that happened.
I think also we owe some credit to the future of England, Mason Greenwood. I mean, talk about future stars. You look at people who let you down. You have Gabriel on Arsenal, for example. You think he's going to be good, and then he's just not the future of Brazil.
Yeah,
Greenwood.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's definitely promising. He had a ridiculous amount of goals last season, tying Rooney and a bunch of somebody else pretty big that I can't remember. But yeah, between Greenwood and also just Fernandes being a very good provider and playmaker as well, it really rejuvenated United for a while. Don't know what the hell's happening at the start of this season, but I mean, I believe they will settle down and get back into their flow that they had. It might take a little bit of time to adjust to it, I guess.
I do have a question. You know, you're hyping up Mason Greenwood, and I get it, but my question is, was Rashford overhyped? Because honestly, I have him on my fantasy team now. He's not really producing like I want him to.
One shot on target, 3 games?
Yeah, no, but even last season too, I feel like he wasn't great. Didn't Martial have more goals than him?
They were neck and neck the entire season, but Martial probably finished on top. Yeah,
I'm just not surprised that Chris and Brennan don't appreciate Rashford after what he did for the poor people in England. Actually providing meals for every child in England. That's who Brennan.
How about Mesut Ozil? Yeah. What does he do for everyone in Turkey, the Islamic community in China?
He's funding that.
The mascot. He's saving Gunnersaurus from extinction. So he's also humanitarian.
Environmentalist,
I want to go back to the future of England. You can't say future of England without saying the name Bukayo Saka. Doesn't get more English than that, I'll tell you that first off.
I agree with that. What about Phil Foden?
Oh, God.
Phil Foden? I mean, Saka, Foden, Greenwood, you look 4 years down the line, I do not hate that top 3. That's pretty sick.
Maguire anchoring that defense. Pickford in goal.
Honestly,
Jack Harrison.
Jack Harrison.
Third tier.
He gets the call-up.
Jack Harrison, I mean, I see he can get a call-up at some point.
He'll have solid Prem experience if he keeps this up.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised 3 years we hear his name called up.
I wish he could have played against City. That would have been sick.
Yeah.
Next game, though. If you're not watching Leeds United this season, then you're... In their season opener, he had that really nice goal, though. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
great.
No, Leeds are a super exciting team.
They're so exciting.
Their first, 3 games finished 4-3. 1, 2 of them lost the first one.
I heard their conditioning is supposed to be just next level.
That's
how they play. 110%.
It's absurd.
Well, it's like them and a lot of the teams that come up just just put in that much more work because they know they have to. Like, I know Burnley for like the past how many seasons they've been in the Premier League, there's always been like one guy who averages like running 12 miles a game, which is just absolutely insane.
Would that be more than what Pogba runs on average?
I would say barely. I mean, if you put that into R, it's probably might not be statistically significant, but it's a pretty safe bet to say that it's going to be.
How many miles does N'Golo Kanté run a game?
Brendan's very high on N'Golo Kanté, but I think he's a little overhyped.
In the 30 minutes he plays for Chelsea this season, probably a good amount. But no, I agree with Brendan. I think that N'Golo Kanté is a class player, and I think he should be utilized more.
I think Jorginho's better.
I feel like Jorginho is N'Golo Kanté.
Yeah, he's a better ball player.
Jorginho's terrible.
No, N'Golo Kanté.
That may be a harsh opinion, but
so they're playing him in the wrong position. He's a defensive-minded player. He's great at making interceptions, making tackles, winning the ball back for his team, and putting in a very high work rate. He's not that great on attack. He has scored goals in some seasons, but what he became famous for is like that famous Leicester City season. He ruled the defensive midfield. Like, he made sure the defense didn't have to work, and he did that the first season with Chelsea too, and they won the title. He won the title 2 seasons in a row, 2 different teams, and
one Player of the Year, PFA.
Yeah, both times.
But I think maybe. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
I think maybe Jorginho and Kanté differ from each other because Jorginho doesn't have that work rate. Jorginho has the class. Like he doesn't need it
Kanté
in this Chelsea team,
class.
But Kanté needed it in like a Leicester team. Kanté needs to be needed, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They need someone who's like playing a pure 6. Like,
but Fat Frank only thinks that Mason Greenwood is like the future of football, so he doesn't care what Kanté's doing. He has Mason. He's bringing Mason Mount back to his house to practice free kicks in his spare time just for fun.
Yeah, and then he played awful in Chelsea's last game last week.
Yeah, so I mean, I think he's playing Kanté in the right position, but I mean, I think Jorginho's just better in general. Like, come on, he's the penalty taker. He knows what he's doing. He can pass the ball. Kanté can. Kanté makes a lot of errors. If you watch,
defense is underrated.
What?
Defense is underrated.
In what sense?
In the sense that it wins games, bro.
I think the fact that Chelsea's defense blows anyway, like, I would think they would want a more defensively minded center midfielder.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. But hey, who knows?
I mean, if you're like
the inner machinations of Frank's mind are an enigma.
You guys see Thiago Silva's debut pass?
Gorgeous,
unreal.
That was a what the fuck signing. Like, come on.
He's so out of his prime. I don't understand.
Yeah, that was so weird.
35-year-old straight from like 9 years in France.
Yeah.
Why not? Straight captain him. Can't speak English well, but yeah.
Yeah. How about Aston Villa and Everton? Who saw those two coming? I mean, Aston Villa. Of course you did.
He's been pushing this all summer. Yeah.
Aston Villa just did make an insane escape. I think they had to win a ridiculous amount of the last games. They were bottom of the table most of last season, maybe except for one other team I'm forgetting. But right at the end, they got hot when they needed to, and they survived. And now I think they've just carried that form into the new season. And holy crap, it's taking them to new heights. Granted, the 7-2, there were 3 or 4 deflections that were just absolutely insane. Just completely changed it. Nothing that the keeper could do for Liverpool. But still, it's 7-2. You can't take it away from them.
Well, I think there's several key additions, obviously. I mean, Ollie Watkins from Brentford, he's a star.
Yeah.
And obviously, in goal, Emiliano Martinez. That's a huge upgrade from what they've had before.
And Jack Grealish is keeping his form. I mean, they actually do have a...
Ross Barkley is on loan there.
And Ross Barkley, too.
He bagged a goal.
Yeah.
Who didn't in that game.
Yeah. So they've actually... low-key built a very, very solid squad, and I mean, even if the form tapers off, you can definitely see them maybe even challenging for a Europa League spot if it does keep going in a pretty solid direction.
I don't see that they'll survive.
They're in second place now.
Okay,
I know
they're 3 for 3.
But
they're 3 for 3, but the team looks solid. They look like they could at least be mid-table. I don't really see them being in 2. I don't think they'll have too much of a relegation.
Sheffield United will.
Yeah, they look bad.
Dude, what happened? They were running.
They were like
super
Huddersfield.
High. Yeah, they were riding super high, and then it's actually quarantine really fucked them over. They came back from quarantine, and they just were a different team, and they have not won a game since quarantine. Almost.
They've scored once, I think.
Wow.
No, since the start of the season.
Okay, well, yeah.
But in 4 games, 1 goal.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not looking good for Sheffield. So they'll need a very quick turnaround. They'll probably be one of those who fires their manager in a few months and then just never gets it going. I would feel like.
You guys think Calvert-Lewin will keep up pace?
No. Calvert-Lewin looks good, and I didn't realize how much of an aerial threat he was until last game. Like, he gets up there. Like,
Yeah.
if you're not an athletic defender or like a big center back marking him, like, he's gonna win the header. And that's kind of a slept on trait for someone who's also quick. His first touch isn't great. His passing
Yeah.
and vision aren't great, but like, he can improve those things.
You don't have to be a super tall guy to be a big aerial threat. Like even Wayne Rooney was only 5'10", but he still got up and scored very very many
Cristiano
headers.
Ronaldo.
Peter Crouch.
Well, Cristiano Ronaldo is
very tall.
is 6'1".
Is he really?
Yes,
He's a
but he
pretty
also
tall.
can jump insanely
Like,
high.
his jump is crazy.
Like yeah, so Cristiano Ronaldo is just like the aerial threat.
Yeah.
Like
But how tall is Virgil van Dijk? He's 6'5"?
yeah,
That's it.
That's tall. That's
It's
really
very
tall.
Taller.
Do y'all think that, because I've been watching James for three games now, and he can only move with his left foot. Like, he's very left foot oriented, and he's also like, I don't know, he seems predictable. Do you guys think that he's going to be able to keep this pace? Like, do you think that under Ancelotti, like, he's inspired? Like, what do y'all think about that?
I don't know.
it'll definitely be an adjustment to the Premier League. I think he's yet to be pushed out of his comfort zone, but it's going to depend on how he reacts to that. If he starts getting frustrated, he's not going to do well. If he actually tries to change his game and make an effort to improve, then yeah, it'll be just fine.
You know, there's a reason why it didn't work out at Real Madrid for him, right? He's not that caliber of a player. Like, he's playing against guys like Modric and Kroos. He's not at that level, and there's a reason why you've seen that. And I mean, too, the predictability. Who knows? I'm sure people are doing their scouting.
But for Everton, it's still a really good signing.
Well, it's an excellent signing, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
look who they had. They had Schneiderlin and Sigurdsson. Like, come on,
Yeah.
anyone's a little bit better than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Well, because he kind of rose to stardom with Colombia, right? Like, he never. What team did he play for before?
He played for Monaco, so that's
Okay.
legit.
Okay.
Yeah, he was
But
pretty
he-
legit, but he
okay.
definitely got his fame
Yeah.
from a super stellar 2014 World Cup.
Madrid were interested before.
He scored that one goal where he turned was
Yeah.
juggling, flicked it around and volleyed it off the crossbar, and then it's like
Yeah.
that's just you do that once in World Cup and you're just a great player.
But do you think
for
he
life.
doesn't drive with really good players? But if he's the center, if he's the dude who the
Right.
ball is always going to, maybe he could actually
Yeah.
That's a good
be
point.
just a
Yeah.
playmaker.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. I think he could definitely. I think he can adapt to the Prem. I can see him doing well. I mean, he's not going to be a super physical player, but he is going to be one that can definitely be a good
He was
playmaker.
defending in the last game. I don't know if
Really?
you saw that. He lost a ball at one point and ran all the way into the corner just to try to tackle it back. And I was like, that's definitely not Real Madrid James.
He actually might just really want to make sure he cements a spot in the team, and he might just actually really really care now.
Oh, he has a chip on his shoulder after
Yeah.
sitting on the bench for all those years.
He's been
honestly.
just stagnating for a long time, 6 years. So
I don't know, I think it speaks more to the pull of Carlo Ancelotti. I mean, he's a big
It
deal.
does.
And obviously he has a great network, and he was able to pull in Allen from Napoli. He fills that
Unreal.
void that...
Decore, too, man.
Decore's fantastic, sure, but I mean, he was from
Alan,
Monaco.
yeah. Alan was a great pickup.
Oh, I mean, they had a huge void, and they were missing that Conte type player they had in Guy, who went to PSG. But now they have that guy, and it's a completely different midfield.
yeah, the managerial prowess of the Premier League has really just shot up recently. Because even Brendan Rodgers at Leicester is very very high caliber. I mean, I know it was the Scottish league, but still, he won every trophy he could in Scotland for 4
Which is what
straight
every
seasons.
Celtic manager has done for the past 27 years, but yeah.
And
Not
it's showing
really,
at
but
Leicester, too.
but you're seeing Leicester last season was absolutely excellent. They really
Fantastic,
should have
yeah.
finished in Champions League spots, and they're starting off this season just as well. So it's there's a lot of high caliber talent in these teams that are normally just fighting for Europa League spots. It's going to make the race for
Arteta.
top
I'm
4.
saying,
very
yeah,
interesting.
Arteta's a big one. Look at what happened to Pep since Arteta left. He has not been the same.
That's a good try.
City is
Good
nothing.
point.
You actually have a good point.
Who's
there.
been pulling the
Yeah.
strings?
Okay.
Pep was putting out the cones for Mikel Arteta, is all I'm saying.
So here's another question on the subject of Pep: are Man City and Pep feared anymore? Because they've sustained
two
a loss,
games.
and
Yeah, but since last season, too, they've looked a little
I don't think-
vulnerable.
Guys,
Well,
guys,
like, after
guys,
last-
take a
all
step
right.
back. It's still Pep Guardiola.
It
It's
is.
still Manchester. Sterling just absolutely sauced.
But you
the
have to
entire
admit,
defense.
like, the past,
Sterling's class.
past like 3 seasons, it's been like, okay, we have Man City coming up next week. That's a loss. Like teams just like counted themselves out, and it was like such a big deal if they were taken down.
Yeah.
And now it's already happened 2 times early this season. It's like teams aren't going to fear them like they used
Right.
to, and I think that might not be their downfall, but
Yeah.
it'll keep them from reaching like the invincible heights.
I don't
that
think
they
he
had
has like
before.
his usual invincible team, but I still think like I'd bet $200 that he would
Yeah.
finish top 3.
And
Yeah, but
just,
like,
like,
okay,
he's-
yeah, that's
I mean,
Yeah.
that's not super impressive for like their ambitions at Man City, but
Yeah.
half
especially
a
with-
billion pounds on defenders. in, like,
Did you see Ruben
3
Diaz?
years.
He was so mediocre. Like,
Yeah.
what about his debut? He
Yeah.
was just an average defender. He pays $70 million for average defenders.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Yeah.
So, like with City, like I would still bet they finish in the top 4 as well. But like that prowess they've had, like of just being untouchable, is definitely gone. And in one game, that just evaporated too for Liverpool. Like wow, like
That might be an overstatement for me. Liverpool still looks good.
They-
Yeah, it's a
But
bit much.
the
They didn't
they fell
play
apart. They
a
fell
Mikel
apart.
Arteta team twice in 1 week, so they were a little tired.
Yeah.
the
And they didn't have
defense.
Mane.
Oh, that's true.
It's
No.
still those solid 4 that won Champions
Oh.
League finals. Robertson's only getting better.
The thing is
Alexander
like,
Alexander-Arnold's only getting
Yeah.
better. Like Van Dijk's class, we can all agree on that.
But-
But they've
They-
started
they
the
need
season.
another center
They've
back.
started the season pretty
think
poor and conceding quite a
Matip's
lot.
back.
It's just been like
Gomez,
their
yeah.
attack that's been outscoring the amount the defense is
Right.
conceding. But the defense is conceding a lot, and that's going to be something that Klopp's really going to have to.
Do you think their like
Tight.
offense, their attack is getting old? Like, because I agree with you in the fact that they used to possess more on offense than they do now, and that let their defense kind of sit back, recover.
Yeah, like their defense
and then
really
they
just
would
didn't
push
have to
on the
work
wings.
too much, I guess. Yeah, but
But once when Thiago starts getting going, though, like
You're right. That's true.
The
Once
midfield's
Thiago's
a little
back
better.
from COVID,
yeah, yeah. There's some
So, how's
things
it
that
going?
yeah.
cut.
Oh yeah.
I'm George.
This is Grant. He's our basketball team roommate.
Inside source.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to get on the podcast?
Right now?
All right.
Is it right now?
It's recording right now.
It's recording right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Here at Next Cool Wins, we'd like to welcome Wake Forest basketball team
Star.
star
The grandson
Grant,
of the former
the
Netherlands-
Dutch
Yeah.
giant Van Beveren. So, what are your thoughts on the Wake Forest basketball
there's
team
been
right now?
reports
Yeah.
of a rampant culture of anti-homosexuality within the Wake Forest basketball team. And what can you say to that?
All I can say is everybody on the team is very accepting of anyone that we come across. We try to be friends with everybody on campus that we come across, and we like to pride ourselves on a welcoming environment towards everybody that meets with us and we interact with.
No, how many hours of media training do you have to go through to get that?
Actually, they don't give me media training. I get to watch in the corner. So, next question.
So wait, is the team going to play a game this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
November 25th is scheduled to be the beginning of our actual season.
Are you going to play a game this year?
I'm probably, the way it's looking, yes.
Awesome. You think you're gonna be able to match your fabulous record from last season, being the
One for
shot-
one,
yeah,
100%.
100%
I think
shooting
I
record?
might be able to match that. Worst case scenario, my average goes to 75 or 50, so I'm not too concerned.
Okay,
Yeah.
Wake plus or minus 5 wins this season.
Plus.
Plus.
You think?
Plus.
I back that.
I think the question is games played.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
True.
I think that's a closer,
Yeah.
more accurate bet. But I'm feeling pretty good about it. Our new style of play is definitely ramped up in speed and aggression from last year. I definitely think that we have more pieces in place to put together that winning picture.
I like that.
Now, Grant, you've been in the past couple team photo shoots and social media postings. You've been completely shafted. They
That's
left
true.
you out completely. What are you planning to do to ensure
Right.
that next time you get that spot in the social media
Yeah.
posts?
I don't really like to think about that. You know what they say, there's no I in team. I'm just really trying to focus on helping the team the best I can. And social media is social media. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how we play and how we approach each game. I just want to say thank you to the social media team. They worked really hard every day. Even though I didn't get too much love recently, I don't hold grudges, and just hope that my new haircut helps me out.
Yeah.
Now, how many more people are aware that breast cancer exists because of what you've done?
I'm pretty sure one.
And who is that person?
Who was that person? It was like a middle schooler who followed me, and it was like, wait, what is this? And they actually DM'd me. And they were like,
hey.
There's this kid named Mason Jenkins, and he
He
sends me beginning of every week. He sends, good luck, have a good season.
Hey,
Shout out to Mason.
let's go, Mason. We need some good fans, man.
Don't any ideas are great. Don't have DM middle school.
Yeah, I never respond, but
Eat shit, Christopher.
I never respond to this one young man, but never have, probably won't. But he's out there. Really hope it's not a To Catch a Predator scheme, but that's why I'm holding up. Any more questions, fellas?
That's all we got.
Best Dutch national team player of all time.
You know I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it because my father will not be happy to say it, but I think I have to. And I think as a Dutch individual, I think I have to say Cruyff. I think I have to say Cruyff. Unfortunately.
His grandpa and Cruyff have beef.
Yeah,
really?
they fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Like, the Cruyff actually got my grandfather kicked off the team because my grandfather was going to start over Ajax's goalie, and he said, if he starts, I'm not playing.
Oh shit.
So he said, fuck, it's Johan Cruyff. Bye-bye Van Beveren. Doesn't really have much of a choice. I probably would have made the same decision. But
Damn.
finals,
Yeah,
we
come World Cup
lost
final.
off of a goalie error, just saying.
Right.
Yeah, Netherlands would have a World Cup title if it was
If
Van
only.
Beveren in goal.
Van Beveren on the
Yeah,
cup.
if Johan Cruyff wasn't such a whiny bitch. You've heard it here first in Mexico Wins, the inside
End of the
scoop.
story,
On the
Cruyff's a little bit-
1917 World Cup?
Sounds right. There
Was
was
it
two
against-
back-to-back that
Was it Brazil?
he got shafted by Cruyff. I'm forgetting which one.
74? I don't know.
Something like that, 74.
Yeah, like early 70s.
Cruyff is the reason my family moved to America. End of the story.
Oh
He encouraged death threats
Oh my
towards my
God.
family. And so I visited my father's home back in Holland, and they had I looked at the windows. They were all not just barred up, but they had complete steel doors, like a drugstore in the ghetto. It was complete tinted windows, 10-foot tall fence, security cameras fucking everywhere.
Jesus.
And they still moved because it was too much shit.
Yo, wait, but your grandpa won a Ballon d'Or, right? Or
Golden
Boot.
Golden Boot, yeah, and
Uh-huh.
it's still on my dresser at home.
Sick.
That's sick.
It's my one thing that I got from the will. and I don't even fucking play soccer. My fucking cousin Timothy got shafted.
Timothy.
All right, I'll see.
See you, bro.
All right, thank you, Grant Van Beveren from the Wake Forest basketball team, a sophomore with a bright future ahead of him.
It's always a pleasure when our paths cross. Thanks for joining the show.
All right, you got a question. We talked some international soccer, but how are we feeling about this U.S. men's national team? Because I did see that there were some signings with some pretty big clubs recently.
Yeah. What's his name?
Oh, yeah. We got a
Weston
decent
McKennie
looking
at Juventus,
Weston
Serginho Dest at Barcelona, of course.
Yeah.
Reina's starring more at Dortmund, and then
Yeah.
Pulisic, he's getting back to Chelsea.
Yeah.
Would it be safe to say that the kind of I don't know what the proper term would be, but the voodoo against American players at big clubs has kind of been broken?
Well, they have to perform a bit, I'd say.
Oh, I know, but it used to just be I felt like there was a sort of prejudice against American players from a lot of the big clubs, they just wouldn't be signed. Not purely because of the fact that they're American, there also just wasn't that much American talent 10 years ago. But I feel like since Pulisic broke onto the scene, there has been a lot more acceptance of Americans getting starting time from maybe even just the fans of these big teams.
Exactly. Look at Freddie Adu. You know, he had a bright future, but all of Europe blocked him out because he was American. And now look where he is, just wasted away. What a talent that would have been.
Yeah.
But to your point, like I don't know if there really was that much of that. If there were Americans there, I don't think they really had much of a problem. Of course, Landon Donovan played for Bayer
Dempsey,
Leverkusen,
Fulham.
Dempsey, Fulham. There wasn't too much of an issue. They just weren't good enough.
The massive
Josie
clubs.
Altidore, did he play
of-
anywhere?
Southampton, maybe. So he was
He
rejected.
plays for Sounders.
He's awful.
No, he was awesome. I love Josie Altidore.
Nah,
He's the
bad.
worst. Why-
He also,
why
like,
do he still get
didn't
call-ups?
Didn't he choke us like Copa America?
Yeah,
when he,
all the
like
time
he
he does
always
that,
just chokes goals.
He does.
He
choke.
can't finish to save his life.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josie.
Then
Next question.
Wondolowski.
Mondo.
The
He'll
big-
always be remembered for that. Which sucks. He's
yeah,
a
it
good
does.
guy and he works hard.
He actually does work really like. For some reason, I followed the San Jose Earthquakes for a while
Yeah.
on social media after I went to one of their games, and it'd just be like he would just pop up. He just like scraps in a lot of goals in the MLS.
Who's
He
the
works
Bradley
really hard.
guy?
Bob Bradley.
Yeah,
Or-
Bob Bradley.
Was it Brad Bobley?
Brad Bobley was the joke.
Yeah.
The skit version.
His
And-
father coached at Swansea and was laughed off after like a month.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He called away games road games, and apparently that was the sticking point.
he lasted 7 games.
Yeah, that's right.
Which, like, it was Swansea. Like, they were going down anyways,
Yeah.
and they did go down. But, like, hey. But, yeah, it was an interesting dynamic during, like, the late thousands when it was Bob Bradley and his father coaching the U.S. national team. A father-son duo as a national team was just kind of
cool.
interesting to see.
Yeah.
It was cool to see. So, like,
Are there any other
06 World Cup, I
father-sons
think.
in the Premier League or soccer in general?
It's the only one I've really heard of, I think.
What about Maguire and Aubameyang when we play Arsenal? Because I feel like he's bodies him.
Oh, that's funny.
Good one.
Yeah, it's gonna age really well when Aubameyang
Yeah.
has like 5 goals against us.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that was just Harry Kane and Son. I mean, imagine what Pepe is going to do when he gets a hold of Maguire. He's
It's
going to
gonna be
dance
ugly.
right
It's
around.
actually gonna be ugly. Like I can admit that. He's slow, man. And Maguire's just slow. He's just like really not reading the play well right now. Like
No.
I don't know what's wrong with him, but we keep blaming the other center back, and Bailly's the only guy like sliding on the pitch trying to make
Yeah,
plays.
Bailey,
Like,
it actually
like, it
put
was
in a fucking
ridiculous,
shit. He was
yeah.
it, like the commentator put it really well. It was Eric Bailey versus Tottenham Hotspur
yeah,
that day,
literally.
and we better hope we get 4
Oh
penalties
no! I
against
mean, I
Arsenal.
thought James Corden put in a good performance. Oh no, Luke Shaw. That's right.
Defends
Hey.
like James Gordon.
Yes.
He attacks like.
Luke Shaw would have cleared that ball at Harry Maguire and Lamella, not pulled him back.
Dude, the issue is he just gets so far forward and
He
doesn't
does
get
get-
back sometimes. It's
I
so
mean, that's
bad.
just the issue of the modern wingback.
But Bissaka
The modern
does.
wingback. No, the modern wingback is fast and is actually
Right,
he's actually
like,
match
learns
fit.
how to
This guy is
read
not
it.
fit.
Yeah, he's not. He's not.
He has had a.
I can't.
If he cuts
defend
back
him.
on the pre-match McDonald's, yeah, he'll probably be fine.
He looks good on the attack, and then it's like, oh wait,
I got you.
5v3 on the other end. Like here we
Yeah.
go.
It does leave us open to counterattacks. He used to be very fast, like coming back from a broken leg, followed by
Right.
ACL, followed by whatever the hell other injuries he's had. It has like wrecked him. He had a lot of potential, and it kind of just took it away from him, which really sucks. But he could definitely be getting more fit, and
That's not helping.
Yeah,
See
Yeah.
you in the
Yeah.
MLS, Luke Shaw. Alex Tejas is
Yeah.
coming in hot. Like no shot. Maybe Tejas will encourage him to work harder, though. You know,
True. Friendly competition.
but also he's a lazy.
There's also
bastard.
Brandon Williams, and like if he's starting over you, then like you're really bad.
Right.
Like you just did you see him against like mediocre
He's-
Europa League
he's-
competition?
It looks like fucking Gilmore. He looks like
Oh,
a
God.
5'6"
Yeah.
little white guy. Like what?
I mean, it looks like he got his haircut from like the Hitler Youth. Like,
He literally put a bowl on his head. And
he does have a solid bowl cut.
he's a goon. He works hard, but yeah, no
Yeah.
business right now. He's got to beef up.
Yeah. Go drink his milk.
Get you some
Speaking-
fight milk.
Speaking
Yeah.
of beefing up, there was
Speaking of this show is
Some-
sponsored by Fight Milk. Fight like a crow.
by bodyguards for bodyguards. Fight milk.
Get your protein on.
Alcoholic, dairy based, 100% real protein.
The only alcohol dairy based protein shake.
On the market.
And welcome back. So yeah, again, thanks to our sponsor, Fight Milk. Again, hit that like and smash the subscribe button. Speaking of getting absolutely yoked, which one Fight Milk can help you with, Gray, and we know that.
Of course.
That's part of
It's proven.
It's proven with 100% protein markets.
George is our test market. And
It
works like crazy.
It's why I drink Fight Milk every night, and that's not just to fend off the shakes.
Anyway, speaking of just getting absolutely yoked, which, by the way, of course, Fight Milk can help you do. It's alcoholic, dairy-based. I drink it every day. It's just fantastic. It's changed my life. But beside the point, if you really want to get yoked, I think we're going to look at the transfer market and see how these teams are beefing up and how they've made the Fight Milk lift of the transfer deadline. Who is that for you guys?
Ooh.
Going to Brennan Saul first.
Interesting.
You're on the spot.
I'm going to have to say, take a low-hanging fruit with Tomas for Arsenal.
It's party time.
Pretty good CDM there, established guy at AC Milan. And
Atletico Madrid, but same thing.
Oh yeah, Atletico Madrid, my bad. I think he'd add some depth to that Arsenal team.
He's the starter.
No, I know, but a good defender, defending midfielder,
Right.
got rid of Guendouzi, which he
Got
didn't
rid
seem
of-
great.
We're letting him progress mentally.
I'm going to go with Werner for Chelsea. And I know that's a hot take because
Yeah.
Havertz was significantly more expensive. But
Prodigy.
you watch Werner play, he's working in and out every single game. He's already scored, 2 goals? He's
In the League Cup,
No, he scored 1 in the Prem first game, right?
no.
We'll have to fact check that. Yep, George was right.
We're going to VAR.
We'll get back on that one. In a few
But
seconds.
anyway, he's making good runs. He's proven himself in the Bundesliga year after year. His time has come to play for a big club, and I've been really impressed with him every game.
Yeah, I mean, so far it's hard to tell. What's his name from Aston Villa, who just got a hat trick? Obviously, great signing, but it's still very early to say. I personally feel like James Rodriguez will prove to be a very good signing for Everton.
See, I think this on this deadline day though. I would have said James if I had it.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, it's just
Just
deadline day?
and overall. It doesn't
Oh,
matter.
okay, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, James Rodriguez, that's a signing I did not see coming. I don't think many people would have predicted that. Seemed kind of absurd at first, but I mean, I think it's probably going to be a very, very good opportunity for both clubs. It'll be very good for both parties. James needs a chance to just get playing time under his belt in the world's best league, and Everton needed a very high-quality signing. I think they'll probably get that. And as the season progresses, as his play matures and adapts to the Prem, I think he'll be come to be a very good signing in retrospect.
For me, it depends. If it doesn't matter that it's a new signing, I think the signing.
From this window,
right? The signing of the window. It doesn't. If it's not necessarily a new player, I think it's Aubameyang re-signing that contract.
Oh,
proves
that doesn't.
so much.
It's a transfer. Transfer.
Talking about a
window.
transfer, fine. Then for me, I'm also going to go Everton, but this time it's Allen from Napoli. I think he plugs an important void that Everton just haven't had. The creativity, not that they had it as great as James Rodriguez right now, but they did have some aspects of that, and there was a hint of that, of course. But where they absolutely lacked was that N'Golo Kante type CDM presence. They didn't have that, and Napoli has that kind of player. So Ancelotti, with the amount of pull he has, brings him in. So I think that has
Better
absolutely
than
changed the
Gay.
midfield.
Better than Idrissa Gana Gay.
I don't know about that. It's too early to tell, but he does have the experience. He is a little bit older at 29, but he could be a massive signing for them.
Where did the other dude go that he replaced?
PSG.
Yeah,
And then Decore from Watford also working in that little gap. They're kind of pushing each other in training, I'm sure, and they're kind of subbing in on League Cup, so Allen doesn't have to run the pitch at 29 every single
That's
game.
true. Yeah.
It's big. It's a nice rotation they've got. I agree.
But yeah, to your point to Werner, I still think if you're going Chelsea, it's got to be Kai Havertz.
He looks good. I'm not going to deny that he looks good, but I don't know. Werner's going to be better this season. Havertz is going to be better long term.
That's true, but I don't know. I don't think Chelsea have the pieces to get Timo Werner where he needs to go. I think
Ziyech, when Ziyech comes back,
Ziyech comes back, possibly-
Pulisic left wing.
That's true.
Frickin' Werner striker,
Yeah.
Ziyech right wing. Then you have Havertz running cam. That's a sick
actually-
attack.
yeah,
That's
that's
a nice
tough one,
attack.
but I
Very good
think
attack.
Werner's he's more inclined to run the open field of the Bundesliga.
Right. Yeah,
that's where
true.
he thrives.
He ran in behind a lot, and
Let's
I don't
keep
think
him on.
Chelsea's playing counterattack. Like
Timo Werner, a lot of people hype him up every year in the Bundesliga, and he's never outscored Aubameyang. So
I don't think he's
put
better
that
than
there.
Aubameyang. I don't disagree with
I
that.
see a lot of ridiculous takes about that, so I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, Brennan did say that.
Oh, yeah.
Brennan, yeah. Well, it's clear. Yeah, I think in fantasy Premier League right now, I think Heung-min Son is more valuable than Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I'll just say that.
It's debatable.
I would tend to agree
after
with
the
that,
first
yes.
3 games, yes. But are we talking in the season?
I think if Son is actually
assists and scores.
and he's actually worked his way into like the starting lineups now too.
That was like 3 years
Mourinho
ago.
last year.
Well,
no,
okay.
but he was off and on, dude.
He was
In
always
high school.
off and on.
That was 3 years ago. That was
That
high
was
school.
he didn't
but,
work
like,
his way in there. It was until like the Korean military thing resolved itself.
Yeah.
Then they're like, okay, we can start you.
Yeah.
They didn't not trust him.
Yeah, and I mean, once he finally got that off his back, and now he can actually get the playing time he deserves, which he has deserved to just be a regular starter the entire time. I think he will prove himself worthy of that value we ascribe to him. I think he will get a lot of goals and assists, as he always did when he got playing time. He always would come off the bench and grab a goal or assist or something like that.
Speaking of which, we should take this second to thank our second sponsor, the South Korean military, for providing the funding for this show and for being the best military in the world.
Yes, glory to South Korea. We will smite the North Korean devils.
And here we are, always in the South in North Carolina, fighting the North, just like they do in South Korea. Though, again, thank you to our sponsors. Back to that. We'll take a trip to the South Coast in honor of South Korean military and maybe take a look at Brighton. Not too much strengthening up. Maybe Adam Lallana.
Lallana is a solid signing. I mean, it's about as good as you can expect for Brighton. And they're starting the season off well. They really should have gotten a point out of the Manchester United game.
Right.
Yeah,
They deserved the
they
point.
really did.
tie looks good.
And they picked up a 3-0 win against Newcastle. Like that's really solid. And for the first 4 games, like to be sitting on 4 points is pretty solid for any team that's just really hoping to survive.
Didn't they tie like a good team too? Or got close?
Yeah, they did get a draw.
They poked one home. Mapai poked one home, and then
Yeah.
I don't remember.
They got a draw. So far, they've got. I think it's just 1-1 and 2, 1 win, 1
thinking
draw,
that was
1 or
Liverpool,
2
but I don't
losses.
want to overstate.
Yikes.
Yeah, look up Brighton's.
Another fact check.
Fixtures.
Well, we've got Eric checking the facts right now.
Yeah.
He's taking a look at that. At the moment, they've got 4 played. They got 1 win and 3 losses.
Okay, so they're not on 4. But
So it's been a poor start. But they are
They did play-
15th, one above United.
They played.
that out.
Deserved.
They've had a tough schedule so far, though. They played United. They played another big
That's
team.
not a tough game.
Yeah, Chris, just say it. So they played 2 top 6 teams,
I
and
decided Bruno's going to take all 3 penalties. It's fantastic.
yeah, I mean they got a really good win against Newcastle, who actually, I mean, aren't looking too terrible this season, but you know,
That's all you can say.
yeah.
For me, the
yeah.
real star of Brighton has been Maupay.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
It's
he's been scoring
He's a
goals. I
scrappy
see his
striker.
name.
I'll never forget Maupay for
He-
what he did to Burn Leno. Nearly killed him.
You
Yeah.
could kill that guy. He's a dirty guy. Though.
Could've
Like,
ended
he
his
plays
career.
dirty. He knows
Yeah.
he plays dirty. He was the one that told the press about Gwen Doozy's comments.
Yeah.
because he's a little bitch. Like,
But Guendouzi, I mean, he didn't deserve that. Ever since
You
then,
think?
he's been shut out by
he
Arteta.
has. He has.
It is
Unfortunate.
funny how often Brighton pulls a league double over Arsenal. I do take great satisfaction in that.
Who else went in Arsenal besides Guendouzi? It was one other like surprising guy. You guys just like someone who had been starting like Guendouzi during your dark days.
Been starting since the dark. I mean, Torreira. He went
Torreira
on
went,
loan
yeah.
to.
But
Atletico.
he was playing a lot when y'all were really bad.
He was, but I don't know what happened. I think I don't know why we have him. Why we let him go instead of El Neni.
right?
Like
That's
why
a good
El
thing.
Neni isn't playing in the Premier League is beyond me.
Why you still have El Neni at that club is ridiculous. Like he needs
That's
to go.
absurd. The
He
fact
should
that
not be in like a top tier team.
no,
like,
he
he
shouldn't
should
be
be
playing in the
like
top league.
in like 3rd division.
Absolutely, it's
Somehow.
absurd.
He's so bad. If
Playing him and Xhaka in the same. Those are the only 2 midfielders they played against when they played Liverpool. Like you're going to get overrun every time that happens.
We're gonna link underneath this El Neni's penalty kick from the week that almost cost Arsenal the
We'll
Carabao
also
Cup.
link Ainsley Maitland-Niles' cool penalty.
That was nice.
That one, you're never going to beat it. Harry Kane is shaking because he will not be a penalty taker. If Gareth Southgate gets a view of that video, he'll be a little bit nervous, is
For
all
sure.
I'm saying.
I mean, why would you want a penalty that goes 100 miles per hour into the upper right-hand corner every single time when you could just have a little dink like that? I mean, obviously, it's just no.
Did you not see it? I feel like you didn't see it if you're calling it a dink.
Compared to Harry Kane, yeah, it was a dink.
Yeah, but like it was super cool.
It was classy.
He did it.
It
Yeah.
was definitely classy.
I admittedly, it was classy. But
Gray's right. Like, I still take Harry
has
Kane.
England ever been a team that goes for the
Yeah,
flair?
but Harry Kane.
England's not a
shoots the
flair
ball.
team. England
he
is
shoots penalties
you
like
kick
he
the-
speaks. It's unintelligible. You didn't know what happened.
Yeah, the ball's in the net before you even know what hit you. I mean, and that's what England
He's
was.
better if you watch him in the Prime Video. Like,
He was still terrible.
He can speak though.
I had
Like,
them subtitles. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, from Mourinho too though. Come on, boys.
Get over there.
It's all like
We
together and
are
one-
fucked.
You must play like. Never mind.
But yeah, I like the dynamic of Jose Mourinho going from Portuguese to English as a second language, and Heung-min Son as Korean to English as a second language. That matchup,
That communication is hilarious.
Yeah, Son's just smiling his way through it.
Right. But they match well together. Like Son's a workhorse.
Yeah.
Mourinho just wants someone who will give his heart to the team. Like
Honestly, like that one, if you had a bad opinion of Mourinho before, like it really didn't shine anything bad light on him.
No.
It kind of gives it a little
he's
sympathetic.
a
image
winner.
to him.
Like at the end of the day, he's a winner.
Except
And,
not
like,
last season.
Right. Except for his last season was Chelsea. Besides that, he's a winner.
He's a winner until the last season, and then he moves on to the next place where he's a winner. I mean,
But keep in mind, he finished second in the final full year at United.
Right, which
That
is
is true.
impressive. And he won us Carabao
Cup.
Cup, right?
Yeah. Europa League.
Europa League
Yeah.
final.
Oleg he made progress.
FA
He
Cup
got them
too.
from 66 points to 66. Fantastic.
The best guard
You know.
out there.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, Mourinho does have a very good pedigree. You can't deny it. Like, what he does works ever since he burst on the scene, winning the Champions League with Porto. It's just like, yeah,
You have to be a special one.
he's the special one. He knows how to win, and he, for as much shit as he gets, and has deserved, he's still a very winning manager. You can't really deny that. I didn't think he'd be a good fit for Spurs, seeing as his football is very kind of like park the bus style. But he actually seems to have kind of molded to Spurs more than Spurs
he's
molded to
definitely
him.
adapting. He's
Yeah.
definitely adapting. And I
Which
think
is
his
good to
coaching
see.
style is adapting too. And he was talking about that in the doc.
Yeah.
He was just like, he used to be much more of a hardo,
Yeah. Yeah, you live, you learn, you grow.
Mourinho, he's a beautiful flower.
Yeah.
All right.
Bro, we're spitting bars.
Mourinho raps.
Should we watch a little Evil Dead now?
Yeah, I think so.
All
It's
right.
getting late.
Okay.
You
Well,
have-
that'll signal the end of this episode. First episode of season 3 of Next Goal Wins in the books.
Only took until October 6th.
Yeah, but hey, I think we actually started earlier than we did last year.
Really? I don't know.
Maybe
about
we got
that.
one in September.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
started.
definitely. You're doing once a week. You're doing
Yeah,
you're
we were doing a
well
lot
for a while.
for-
We can always get back onto that.
Oh, we're
of
definitely.
course. Yeah.
Join us next week when we'll have 4-time ACC Coach of the Year Bobby Muse back on the show.
If the email reaches them, of course.
Right. We've sent a lot of fan mail over the summer.
Yeah.
So we'll see if it gets to him.
Post United comeback win. It'll be nice.
Yeah.
Projecting
Yeah.
3 goals from Fernandez.
I'm thinking.
All 3 penalties.
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll finish on the predictions for the for that game. So Christopher, lead us off with your obviously going to be biased take.
Obviously biased take. Okay, so let's take a look at the next fixtures coming up.
There's a lot of big ones.
All right,
Merseyside
so
Derby.
we'll start with the Merseyside Derby, Liverpool, Everton. This one team's coming in hot, the other is not. I like Everton in this one.
I
It's
like.
gonna be
I
3-2
also
for
like
me.
Everton to win
I'm
their
going
first
Liverpool.
Merseyside Derby.
going
Yeah,
Liverpool.
they are really good. at the
Everton's
Derby.
coming
They
in
turn it
way
up.
too hot. Liverpool coming off a big loss. Klopp is not a loser. Klopp's gonna rip them. Van Dijk's already ripping them in the press. Like, there's no way we see the same Liverpool we saw last week.
I know, but I think we're going to see the same Everton we have been seeing as well. I think it's just
so.
going to
It's
be
gonna be a great game.
It's going to be a
But I'm
great game.
thinking
It's going to be
3-2.
worth getting up early for.
For sure.
And you thinking 3-2?
3-2 Everton. I mean, Liverpool.
I do think it's going to be high scoring. I'm actually going to go 4-3 Everton.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Calvert-Lewin double.
very.
Or Charles.
I'm not going
Lucky
to
fantasy.
go for who scores, but I think it's going to be a high scoring one. I think Everton are going to edge it. Maybe even like a 5-3. Like I can see it being very high scoring.
Thoughts, Brennan?
I've got to say Liverpool 3-1.
Really?
Wow.
That's
Okay.
bold.
Yeah, I could see it though. I could see any result for this. Honestly, I could see another like absolute drubbing from either side.
True.
All right, next one we'll highlight is United Newcastle. That one for me, I don't know. Steve Bruce has got the boys going. Joe Ellington's on a roll. So is Callum Wilson and Alan Saint-Maximin.
Yeah.
And
So
Andy
for-
Carroll, like they got a lot of like mid-range strikers. It's
For
kinda
me,
funny.
this one, and you can quote me on this, and you should because it's being recorded. It's 3-0 Newcastle.
3-0 United, other way.
Yeah, I'm going the same as George.
I'll do 1-0 United.
Okay,
Yikes.
acceptable. What's
All
the
right.
next big one?
So next big one here,
Pretty boring.
we got another top
Yeah.
6 clash. It's Arsenal and City. One team's hot, the other one is not. One is, well, I mean, Mikel Arteta, he's managed both teams essentially, so he'll know City inside and out. He beat them in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
He knows what to do. He's got Thomas Partey. I like this one. It's a big bounce back. I'm thinking 3-1.
Oh,
I'm thinking 2-2.
yeah, I like a draw, but like a 1-1.
I'm going to say Arsenal 2-1.
All right, last one we'll highlight
No
is
City guys there.
No,
Yeah.
not a City fan.
Yikes.
we'll look at the Spurs West Ham. West Ham coming in hot off a
Ooh,
3-0
yeah.
win against Leicester. Spurs,
Yeah.
of course, another
A
big
hot
one against
Leicester,
United.
too.
So this one should be interesting, but I think Spurs should take care
Yeah.
of business. Yeah.
I'm gonna go 0-0 draw.
Oh, yeah.
Tottenham's so tired. They were pure adrenaline against United. Played so many times in the last week.
Spurs are definitely
Spurs are
due
gonna
for
come out
that.
slow.
But they do have that extra week off with the international break.
True,
Yeah,
but like a lot of their guys
yeah.
are playing, right? You gotta think all the top teams play guys are playing, especially in form.
Yeah, for
teams.
sure, Harry Kane's used to this.
Yeah, but like Harry Kane's not like. I mean, he's a big dude. You know, he runs a lot. I don't
Yeah.
think he's just in perfect shape. Even if
I
he
mean,
was,
Luke
he's
Shaw,
a big
like,
dude.
yeah, he
like-
knows what he's doing.
I mean, he's got weight on him, but I don't think he's got like fat on him.
I don't think he's got fat. I'm just saying I don't think Harry Kane's the kind of guy that can
Harry
play
Kane
3
is.
magnificent games in a week. You know.
I don't think Harry Kane's like quite smart enough to feel pain, so I think he'll just run right through it.
We'll see. I'm calling them.
Okay, I mean, I can see it. I think like a 2-0 for Spurs.
I'll go 4-1 Spurs.
Oh, he's still
I don't know who's scoring for you.
I got Harry Kane twice. I got Mora once, and then I'll give you a goal for something.
Oh, thank you. All right, so last one on Monday Night Football, we have Leeds and Wolves.
Ooh,
that one could be interesting.
tasty.
Wolves,
Delectable.
not in a significantly great form. I think Leeds might overtake them this year as a surprise come-up team. We'll see if Jack Harrison's back from his injury. If he is,
My
back,
prediction:
maybe
so
someone-
Leeds have been starting off very much like high-scoring games. I think they've settled down. I know they won their last game 1-0. I'm pretty sure. I think I see another 1-0 for Leeds, scored by the maestro Jack Harrison.
the maestro.
I'm thinking 1-1. I think both those teams are just in a pretty mediocre spot. I agree with Gray. They're going to slow down a little bit next game, but Wolves are in a bad place right now. So I think Holta was a bigger part of their team than they realized.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That hurts them.
I'll go 3-0 Leeds.
Ooh.
Wow. I mean,
Oh.
I get what you mean by slowing down, but that's never been a Marcelo Bielsa team mantra. They've always been super fast. I don't see that slowing down at all. They haven't fixed any defensive problems either, so it's going to be high scoring one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, just judging off the last one, they just seem to have cooled off a little bit from their high scoring. It could come back right back. Who knows? We'll wait and see.
We'll wait and see, and that's what we'll leave you with. Some great analysis, and you'll have to wait and see what comes next. Again, stay tuned for when we have more exciting guests. Who knows? It could be Bobby Muse. It could be Grant Van Beveren.
Again.
Van Beveren. Or we could have, that's right, a backup goalie
Oh, yeah.
as well. So stay tuned for who that might be.
Yeah.
Mystery.
Yeah.
Mystery guest.
All right.
So from everybody at Next Goal Wins, if you want to catch us on our Twitter page, that's at NextGoalWins_WF.
Be
And
sure
this
to hit
is
the like and subscribe buttons.
Yeah.
Also follow our new a more macabre themed sociological podcast featuring guest star Sailor Breckenridge.
yes.
That's beside the point. Thank you.
So this has been Next School Wins, episode 1 of season 3, the final season, where we wrap up all our loose ends, of course.
The final season? No, it never ends.
Yeah.
We're getting renewed.
Oh.
All right. I'm
Yeah.
Brennan.
I'm George Wheaton.
Gray.
Mayoma Christopher.
Oh.
Signing off.
There we go.